ready.
Welcome, Devin, to my classroom today. I wanted to address some things you mentioned in your needs assessment, most particularly about your substance abuse and diet habits.
Cool.
Mostly I was concerned about the substance abuse and the drinking that you've been doing. I want to go over some ways we can maybe handle that and educate you on healthier habits to relate to your stress levels from working in the ICU.
Yeah, I have been drinking a lot more to deal with stress and from the pandemic and just working more, and yeah, it's definitely something I need to work on.
And can you tell me what ICU you work in?
I work in a cardiovascular ICU in an emergency department.
Gotcha. And so some ways we wanted to look at is gauging how you're dealing with your stress kind of in a weekly to bi-weekly manner. How do you deal with your stress nowadays? How do you think about your stress on your days off?
Get home from work, and typically it's like the normal American, go home, have a beer, maybe watch some TV, then one beer leads to 2 beers, and so on and so forth. And then you try and, in order to get some sleep or to kind of de-stress or cope, just kind of get a little buzz and go to bed.
How about your eating habits on your days of working? How do you prepare your food? What type of foods do you eat during work when you can?
Hospital food, like sometimes I have a lack of desire to cook or do things of that nature to get ready to go to work just because I'm stressed about being there or don't want to be there, or and I could definitely be better. I'll eat hospital food or whatever junk food gets brought in, which I think is a problem that I'd like to change.
Do you find a joy in cooking, and when you eat healthier, do you eat healthier on your days off?
Yeah, sometimes. I generally eat healthier when on my days off. Maybe day one at work is a little bit more healthy, and then just kind of the longer I'm at work, the more the less healthy I eat. I don't know if it's because it's available or just because it's just the way that I'm dealing with stress. I'm not really sure.
And what do you find to be your bigger stressors at work? Is it the constant attention towards the patient, the death and dying, the dealing with other coworkers, the need from the higher hospital administration for you to work more?
I think it's it could be a mixture of all those things. I think part of it's patient load, part of it's just dealing with a lot of death and dying and having to deal with when patients actually do die. And I think it carries a lot more of a burden than you anticipate when you first start this career.
So some ways I wanted to look at and gauge how you're dealing with the stress and your diet habits is by these weekly, bi-weekly questionnaires that will tailor to each time and every time after you answer, maybe even afterwards. So be like a 10 to 20 questionnaire talking about how do you feel after work? How did that shift go? And rating on a scale between 1 to 10. And then also asking how often did you drink after work to how often did you drink on your days off, and given a relationship between that. Then we'll also look at your diet in terms of what did you eat for your days of work, what did you prepare in terms of a meal? Did you eat at the cafeteria or snacks? Did you go out on your days off and eat at restaurants more? Or did you stay home and cook more? And confine that to it. And what these questionnaires will help us do is kind of tailor where we can get you. Like if you do cook a lot more on your days off, we can help teach you ways to prepare that food in advance when you're working, so you don't have to cram so much time or not feel like you have time to cook a healthy meal.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that could help me a lot, just being able to kind of to have the questionnaires, to be able to kind of see where I may be going wrong, like when and why I might be stress eating, or kind of see my patterns and understand better how I can change them due to stress levels at work. Because I think part of it might be just the fact that over time, as I'm day 2, day 3, stress just kind of builds up. You don't have a lot of an outlet. You get home, you don't have a lot of time to eat. You're home at 8:30. By the time you know it, you're eating some, cookies and cake, or drinking a beer, and then you're just going to bed. And you wake up and do it the next day, and the next day, and as many days as you got to work during the week. So it makes it hard. And I think a questionnaire would be pretty beneficial to help me kind of see where I'm going wrong and how I might change it.
And with that questionnaire, we'll relate it to your, that we've already started, your daily diary. Kind of your work diary.
Yeah.
That you just talk about your day or how the shift went. And then we talk about that in our, we'll share that kind of in our bi-weekly resiliency group that we do.
Mm-hmm.
While you're on shift, so you don't have to come in and spend free time, like already talk with your managers, come in 30-45 minutes, we all meet together, because I think the group setting helps see like peers in the same environment and talking through some of the same things that we're all going through and how to manage different stressors.
I think that would help a lot, because sometimes I think part of stress is you feel like you're doing it alone, and which stress builds on stress, kind of like anxiety. Stress builds on stress, and you get a lack of motivation to do things, and cooking's one of them. And you have a beer for dinner, or I think a resiliency group would be really nice, because it would help to not feel so alone in the negative feelings of stress.
Yeah, everyone should take a look at our questionnaire, that kind of what the questions you'll be seeing, talking about, what you do when you get home. Yeah, do you feel the need to work out? Do you work out when you get home from work? How's your motivation to do things? It's kind of big and broad right now, and then what we're looking at is taking that down and then identifying more of the specific topics of where we can tailor that stress.
Yeah, I think that would help a lot.
That.
I think that would help a lot.
Do you have any questions on the questionnaire?
No, it looks pretty. It's very straightforward. I think and simplistic, and I think it'll help me kind of see my errors in dealing with stress.
Well, I'll get you one of these and fill this one out at the end of this week, and then I'll see if I can collect it from you.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. Thanks for teaching me and helping me with all this.
You're welcome.